only I had listened for a while, I would have told you this, just smile. I thought of you as a friend who can't let go, but when you left I could feel it grow, like a body of water. See the joy that just on my soul. It's getting harder. You was never under my control. You know. Version of me inside, and even if stay there for a while, I feel it now and I see that smile, like a body of water. See the joy that just on my soul. It's getting harder. You was never under my control. No. Things change, I'm lost and follow comfort. This is the one for me, like a body of water. See the joy that's just on my soul. I know. I was never under control.
good? Yep, we're live on Instagram, we're live on YouTube. How are all of you? Welcome to Work+Love Wednesday. Happy Work+Love Wednesday. So excited to be here. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Number one, I have a really squeaky chair. So it's probably going to squeak because I move. Number two, I'm still a work in progress. As you can see, I'm relocated once again. Not all the lights are up. So Instagram, you're a little dark. Let's see. This is me. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that helps a little bit for Instagram. I sat here thinking about readjusting the cameras to make sure that you didn't see my mess. But this is the reality. The reality is I slept in. This is what I look like. I'm committed at 8 a.m. to showing up and doing Work+Love on every Wednesday. And so here I am doing Work+Love this Wednesday with all of you. We're live. I think everything is going well so far. Anyway, so as you hop in, say hello. If you're watching the replay, make sure you say hello in the comments. The last thing, so I said one, well, I guess this adds on to number two, being part of Work in Progress. I'm really trying to get intentional about getting this show where it needs to be, and I'm having good weeks and bad weeks because in between I've got all this, and I've also been very committed to less is more. So in the old Samm, I would have been super stressed out and made myself do whatever these goals are. So, staying up late doing these show notes. I'm really prepping, and I know I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there where I'm going to have those show notes. I'm going to be prepped and ready like that. But at the same token, this started as an intuitive show. So I'm always going to show up and share the message. And for a long time, it was in reverse. I would show up and I would just chit chat, and then I would write the blurb based off of that, write the show notes, which is what's going to happen this week. But yeah, so bear with me. Give me grace today. Although I have to say that last week I wrote my message in the show notes. And then I tried to do my show from those show notes. And I struggled a little bit. And so I'm starting to think and believe that maybe both are different. That's a reflection. It's a journal. It's going to come out differently when I write like that versus when I'm here and showing up with all of you. So yeah, just interesting. So we're going to see what happens today as I kind of figure out what is the best way to serve you. And if you have any feedback, let me know. There's this episode I really loved and this episode I did not so much. There's something to be said about that. Just trying to... This is not my best camera. I think that just made it worse. Oh, no, it didn't. Better camera angle. Okay, so let's start talking today. The episode is called Shedding of the Old. And it's called that because we're going to talk about something. This month we're talking about dreams. So I already cleared that up last week. We're talking about dreams. This week we're going to talk a little bit about a literal dream meaning. So when you see something, what it actually means. And the thing that we're going to talk about is snakes, which I have to say, once again, this show is intuitively driven. I use abstract card prompts to essentially generate that content. I use those prompts, so whatever kind of gets revealed gets revealed. And for me, I see, once again, when I'm like on it, I have these little beautiful slides that happen. So I will get there eventually. I know I will, but this is the card that presented itself. And I have to say, I had a really hard time doing the marketing stuff for it because I don't want to put anything with snakes on it on any of my marketing materials. I say that, yet I also have a snake tattooed on my body, which is, you think that Samm would just get over it. But I'm not. I just realized that you can't hear me, can you? I don't think you can hear me. Crapo. Now you can hear me. OMG, we just went all this time without you being able to hear me on YouTube. Instagram, you could hear everything. But that's okay. That's what was meant to happen. So, YouTube, I'm glad that you watched me be a mime for all that time. So, anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. Let's talk about this prompt here. Okay, so YouTube, getting you set up. We're talking about snakes. I feel really bad that you guys missed all that. Yeah. Okay. No, you know what? We're just gonna go with it. The show must go on. It was what was supposed to meant to happen. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so here's the prompt book that we've been using. I've been linking it in the show notes. Ta-da. Here's what it says under snake. The snake heralds a time of transition during which you will go through the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Enjoy the shedding of the old while stepping into your power. The snake's wisdom may lead you to ask yourself many questions. What project or relationship do you need to begin? What do you need to shed, release, or uncover in order to bring about new opportunities? What do you need to bring back into your life? The snake represents rebirth in all forms. It symbolizes hidden teachings or information, as well as the integration of physical and spiritual form. The double snake is the embodiment of transcendence, a balance between your physical and spiritual energies. Open your awareness to the spiraling dance of cosmic force. Study the hidden knowledge that has been beckoning you. Additional meanings: study and work with divine magic. Don't be afraid of your personal power. It is a gift of healing and rebirth. So I want to talk about snakes in two ways. Number one, when snakes show up, particularly in dreams, they're showing up because there's transformation that is happening. And it's not just any transformation, it is a deep rooted, icky transformation that is happening. And so when we think about it, it's that deep, yucky transformation. Deep, yucky transformation. Like stuff where we feel like we are a cat and we're losing one of our lives. The snake shows up as a reminder. Now, that being said, every time that I've had dreams with snakes in them, they're not pleasant. So I'm not going to say that it's these happy snakes that just show up. In fact, I just had one a couple weeks ago, and and the snake in that one, there was multiple, and they were actually kind of not attacking, but like nipping at my children. There's definitely things that have been going on in my life, personally, professionally. 2020 has been a year of transformation, which I feel like I am not alone in that. And you might feel like the snake might be prompting to ask you some questions. You might be in that place where you are in the muck, you are in the yuck, and it's now trying to see what patterns you need to let go of and move past. So that's definitely something to be mindful of. So that's number one. Snakes, symbolic of transformation, and they usually come when we're struggling to see that, or we're struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So they are supposed to be a positive affirmation. The other way I want to talk about snakes, which is a little bit beyond dreams, but maybe just reaffirming their place in our connected life path, per se, and how they keep us aligned with the highest vibration possible, which is love. When I was first beginning studying Chinese medicine, we learned several things that overwhelmingly just expanded my mind. But there was one meditation in particular that used several animals. And I know if you've been watching Work+Love since we have started and brought it back during quarantine, you know that I love animals and I'm connected to animals. Um, so it's no surprise that this meditation obviously spoke to me as well. The what was I going to say? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so in the meditation, there is a snake that comes out. And the snake comes with a turtle. And this is actually the tattoo that I have. There's a snake sitting on the turtle's back. And essentially, the turtle represents this protective shell to like protect your back, so no one can just stab you in the back. The snake represents someone who's going to strike them. Basically be your defender, be essentially your guardian angel, like have your back so that you can just trust and do the work that you're meant to do, which is powerful, powerful symbolism. When I heard this meditation, I instantly equated the snake and the turtle to two people in my life who serve as a great balance for me. The turtle being my husband and the snake being my business partner, Mary Rose. So my husband, no doubt, is the turtle in my life. He grounds me. He is solid, and he always has my back. And he's always trying to be my protective shell. He always has been and always will be, but trying to be my protective shell. At the same time, Mary Rose is right there with him, but she also is making sure that she'll take down anybody who's trying to stab me in the back. So she's always, that's been kind of like a little bit of a joke that we've all had in regards to that. So that great balance. But I think that these two ideas of snakes put them in a very different light. We, not too long ago, had I don't want to say situation, but just an occurrence where we found a garter snake out in the yard, which I know that they exist. We rarely see them around here. But in the middle of quarantine, we got to see one. And the girls were fascinated. But it also came as a very symbolic time. So when we started Work+Love, we spent the whole month talking about animals that show up, that share messages. And during that time, that reptile showed up to communicate about a deep rooted time of transformation that I was going through, that my family was going through, that the world was going through. And it's almost this affirmation of saying that everything is okay. On top of that, as you travel down your connected path and you continue to venture in places where fear is expected to happen, fear is expected to be present. As you continue to venture down those places, know that the snake serves as a reminder that you're not alone and that you can trust in spirit, divine, source, whatever that is for you, and continue moving forward, knowing confidently that someone's got you, but you're not doing it alone. And I know sometimes it feels like that. One of my favorite books of all time is The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And he talks about this concept of 95% of the entire world, the entire population, will fail at achieving what they want out of life. 5% make it. And to me, that's always resonated as 5% of us are going to live this connected life, are going to be able to sustain that highest vibration of love. And oh my goodness, does that ring true right now when we look around what is happening, and the fear and the anger and the struggle to get to a place of vibrating and aligned with love. Those percentages are pretty reflective there. And knowing that, living your connected life and choosing that, you're in that 5%. And when you're in that 5%, it feels lonely. I like to say, your community does exist. You're not alone. Sometimes it's harder to find others who are in that 5% along with you. And if you're struggling to find that, sometimes the snake will show up as a reminder. And this goes back to the first comeback episodes that we ever did. Animals will show up in such weird places. So I'm not saying that you're going to find an actual snake. It could be your child playing with a fake snake. It could be that you go and take a trip to the zoo because as of right now, we're able to do that. Or maybe it's a virtual trip to the zoo and you're compelled to watch the camera of the reptiles. It could be a meme, a GIF. It could be random product placement when you're walking around that there's a snake on a cereal box. These are the way that signs show up. And so when we talk about bringing this back full circle, because we're talking about dreams in July, we're talking about signs. When we're talking about true meaning and literal meaning, it is things like that. It's things that have the same meaning when they're outside of the dream as they do inside the dream. As you continue to awaken and build your intuitive skill set, you create this essentially spiritual library, which is a collection of signs or communication tools that help you to know when spirit is talking to you, when your intuition is reaching out and trying to get your attention. And when and those are the things. For me, it's animals. Maybe you'll never see a snake, but maybe you'll see numbers, maybe you'll see letters, but it's paying attention to you. I will tell you wholeheartedly, when I had that dream a couple weeks ago with the snakes, I knew hardcore that they were a symbol. And I also knew I had to do more research to fully understand what that symbol meant. I've always known that snakes are part of transformation. I know they're part of strength. Otherwise, I would not have one tattooed on my body. He's a cute little friendly snake on my back. But yeah, get curious about those things in your dreams. And know, quite frankly, that usually what we're seeing there is the creation of our spiritual library, and it's going to come over. It's going to bleed over into life. It's a new spiritual dictionary log that is being presented. All right. So let's do some regulation. Last week, I think we did pulling down the heavens. So this week, let's do some microcosmic orbit. Okay? I'm going to take my glasses off, scoot my seat back just a little bit. If you're able to, go ahead and put your feet on the ground. Oh. Chair goes down. Begin to go inside. Slowing the breath down. Inhaling through the nose, allowing the belly to rise. Exhaling through the nose, allowing the belly to fall. Now I want you to imagine that you have this warm golden energy right below the navel, in a place that we call the lower dantian. The lower abdomen holds the container, the space for all of our energy that we cultivate throughout the day. It's our reservoir of qi. And on the next inhale, you're going to push that golden energy down, allowing it to run beneath you. On the inhale, bringing it up the body, the spine, and back down, like a waterfall over the face to that lower dantian. Inhaling up once again, up the spine, over the face, and back down to the lower dantian. Inhale again. Exhale it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Just rest the hands in front of that lower abdomen, laying them on the lap, allowing the energy to settle. Slowly allowing your breath to return back to normal. Let's go ahead and open our eyes. Ooh, squeaky chair. Well, that is all that I had for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for Work+Love Wednesday. I hope you have an incredible Wednesday, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye.